Hey everyone, today we're going to go over a brief explanation of the Halligan Bar. It can be found on basically every single rig the Newark Fire Department has. It's a very versatile tool that could be used from anything from forcing doors to overhaul to anything in between. So basically, the Halligan Bar is comprised of three different portions. Up top we have the adze, along this next side we have the pike, and on the bottom end we have the fork. On the adze, up here, you'll notice that it's a flat, sort of bevel-shaped object. This is useful in getting behind door jambs and trying to pry behind something. The pick is very useful in setting into door jambs if you want to get some sort of mechanical advantage to use the adze to push off of. It's also good for getting behind plaster and lab ceilings or any other hundreds of varieties that this tool can be focused on. On the bottom here, we have a fork end. You'll notice that on the fork, we have a bevel. Depending on which way the bevel is faced is which way you will get your mechanical advantage. So in this case, if we're going to be doing inward swinging door, we typically start by getting our bevel towards the door, so that way we could drive and direct our tool, and then flipping over, depending on which way it presents, we could get a little bit extra forcible entry with that, with leverage. Speaking of leverage, the easiest and most effective use of this tool and the most leverage you will get by far is utilizing the adze end and having this in your hand. So if we come over here, we could set it in the jam and we could start lifting by here. This will give you upwards of a 15x multiplier to whatever force that you put on there. So again, just wrapping up, the Halligan tool, probably one of the most versatile tools that we have on the rig, can be utilized for any type of incident, and we'll have a little bit more in the future. Thank you. Today we're going to go over single firefighter forcible entry on an inward swinging door. The tools we're going to be using are a standard fire department issued Halligan, and I also have with me a steel wedge or an aluminum wedge, whatever you find preference in. So first thing we got to do when we're doing forcible entry is size up our opponent. Our opponent in this case is going to be the door. We can identify that this is an inward swinging door by a couple of measures. One, the dead giveaway is the absence of the hinges. And number two, there's a door jamb stop right here. And then you'll see our door is recessed into the frame. With that being said, one of the things that we also have to identify is which way the door is swinging, the orientation, because that's going to depend which way that we set up on that side of the door. So for this, first thing we're going to do is come up, identify that we, number one, do have a locked door, because a lot of times if you go up to the door, just try to open it, sometimes it'll open. We'll be lucky and we don't have to worry about using this tool right here. So this is not the case this time. Obviously, we have a locked door. So one of the things that's really prevalent is to find out where the points of resistance are on your door. So if we're going and we look, if you just lean into it, push a little bit, sometimes you'll be able to see the flex of the door. A lot of times the door is centrally located anywhere between, or the lock rather, is centrally located on the door anywhere between 30 to 40 inches on the door jamb. Here, we're going to pretend that that's the case. First thing we'll do is go up, identify where our jam is, and try to set the adze of our Halligan. Go up, get that, work. Sometimes, if you're doing this by yourself and you don't have an axeman or someone to strike, you can take the inside of your palm and gently get it in there until you hear the positive stop. Now, I know this tool is set because the adze of the Halligan has hit the inside of the door frame. With this, orientation of your Halligan is super important. One of the strongest points of leverage that we have in this tool is along the plane right here on the adze. So what we could do is we could come around the side, hold our tool in place, get under the fork, and start pushing up. And what we're going to do is we're going to get that initial crush on our door frame. So we've already done probably 70% of the work here by getting that initial gap on our door. So with that being said, being that we are the only person here, if we were to remove this tool and reset to continue to force the door, we would lose all this progress. That's where the benefit of having a wedge, whether it be wood, metal, anything along the lines of that, to come in as your progress capture. This It's player's preference at this point. You could decide if you want to go above or below the lock. At here, I'm going to go right in line, just being that this is a prop. And what I'll be able to do now is release my tool. Notice the tool is completely free, and I still have maintained my gap. So the best now, what I could do is I could come through, I could reset, get my tool in, get a little leverage, and the first thing we want to do is just make sure that our hands are clear of any crush when we go to move this tool and begin to push in. So obviously our door has been forced. The next crucial step at that point, if we don't have a charged hose line with us or we're not under the protection of some sort of water source, whether a can or anything like that, we have to make sure that we control this door and close it. Now, at this time, we could get on air and we can prepare for our primary search.